This is the story of a cat who became a hero. An outlaw dedicated to justice and a lover of beautiful women. I am Puss in Boots, and my name would become legend.
This kid hasn't caught during his entire 10 years at DreamWorks logo fixture. Isn't it about time we found someone who can?
Still taking these DreamWorks logos literally. I mean, I'll grant you this is one of the funnier instances of you doing this, but I have a theme to stick to, just as much as you.
Through the years, I have been known by many names.
Puss in narration.
Yeah, but it's Antonio Banderas. I would totally listen to an audiobook that's narrated by him.
I am Puss in Boots.
Wow, this might be the fastest roll credits in history.
You really shouldn't be surprised by this. You sinned all the Shrek movies, right? You know darn well that Puss likes to introduce himself all the time. He's pretty dang narcissistic sometimes, which is something The Last Wish actually addresses.
Sure, we saw Rosa lightly bat the ball of string earlier, but it hasn't been a part of the action until this moment. During this whole sequence, I'd expect to at least see the string somewhere in the frame, but it's nowhere to be found until now. And what's worse, it doesn't even factor into the scene in any fun way.
Isn't that fun way being that the string caused this guy to not be able to catch up to Puss? Or are you saying this subjectively? If so, that's not a sin in the movie, my guy. Why haven't you learned this yet?
Apparently this center triangle piece of this fabric forgot to turn on its gravity awareness filter after it was cut out.
Really? Why are you taking a movie about a cat version of Zorro this literally? I mean, this is the Shrek universe too, where a human girl turns into an ogre permanently because she wanted to marry another ogre. This franchise is silly on purpose.
Fireworks. I mean, maybe if humans could be trusted to only set them off on celebration days, they would be fine, but my neighbor thinks Independence Day is celebrated from June 26th to August 15th, so yeah, fireworks.
Jeremy points things out on the screen, cliche.
Not all cats are lactose intolerant, but most of them are. And I'm willing to believe Puss in Boots doesn't get sick when he drinks it, but this is the second time the movie has suggested that milk is like alcohol for cats. Like, this is what they drink when their son tells them he wants to be a YouTuber.
Okay, and? Again, are we forgetting what kind of franchise this is? It's meant to be silly like this. And if the sin is that alcohol is in a kid's movie, let me tell you that it's not for kids. It was rated PG.
The only thing you find tonight is trouble. Puss in Boots.
We get it. You know the name of the character and the title of the movie. You've said it 3 times in the first 5 minutes. I can only roll so many credits.
And I'm getting tired of repeating the same points over and over again. Did you really expect to watch a Puss in Boots movie without that specific name being said multiple times like this?
You do not want to make the cat angry.
If there's one thing I've always admired about Pants, it's that they have a great sense of comedic timing.
If there is one thing I've always admired about CinemaSins, it's that they have a great sense of taking jokes too literally.
This guy's going to show off his tattoos that tell the story of the magic beans and the golden goose, and that's when Puss takes a huge interest in it. Like, this proves beyond a reasonable doubt that this story is true. But later we're going to find out that this was a big obsession his buddy Humpty Dumpty had. So why does he get enamored with this story? All they say is that they've seen the magic beans. Puss doesn't believe it until the guy shows his tattoos, which don't prove Also, the upkeep on shaving just the chest hair from that area of the tattoo does not seem like the kind of manscaping this crowd would be into.
You're right, he probably isn't. But we later find out that these people were hired by Humpty Dumpty to get Puss interested in the magic beans so he can get his revenge. So this guy most likely recently got these tattoos to execute this plan.
So why would you swallow the key? How are you supposed to get the magic beans out when you need them? And while this whole thing is going to be revealed to be a master plan set up by Humpty, the key swallowing is just another bullshit thing that won't make sense by the end of the movie.
First of all, you're admitting right here that you know this is all part of Humpty's plan, and yet you still kept in that previous sin. Second of all, I don't think it matters. Humpty wants Puss and Kitty to help him plant the beans, so they can just use their claws and blades to unlock the locks and get the beans out. Which they do.
Also, is this the first time you've done this? You've apparently had the magic beans long enough that people around town know that you have them. Why are you only now locking them up?
How? How is it possible for you to say Humpty planned this, meaning he told the people in the bar to tell Puss this, which most likely means these beans have been found recently, and yet you still ask this question?
Cutting comically shaped window entrances instead of cutting something more practical.
Sinning Puss in Boots for being Puss in Boots.
Movie and Snapchat debut within 1 month of each other. Coincidence?
Yes.
I didn't realize how many convenient ropes were hanging around town for characters to cut and swing to their escape until I started watching movies.
But this is a fictional town in a fictional world where fairy tale creatures exist. This criticism doesn't really work in this case.
Has she not seen a cat before? She can clearly see him. Why would she think he's a chupacabra?
That's the joke.
Interspecies mid-chase flirting.
Jeremy points things out on the screen cliche.
This movie has the audacity to say that the hat's feather would somehow have the tensile strength to knock a hole not only through wood, but through the thickest part of the frame. Movie doesn't know how to feather correctly.
And you don't know how to cartoon physics correctly. I'm already getting tired of these kind of sins.
Wow, does this cow provide all 3 of the milks on tap at this kitty speakeasy? I hope she's compensated well for this kind of work. Seriously, what does a cow get out of this arrangement?
Who knows, and who cares?
Disrespecting gravity. Fun fact, the filmmakers accomplished this illusion by securing the actors to wires in front of a green screen and then painting them out later. It's a neat trick. I'm ready to accept anything in a cartoon, to a point, but where the f*** did he get that guitar? If characters can magically produce guitars in situations like these, then why can't they magically produce anything they want?
Okay, I added 20 cents for this bullcrap in my last Wish video from 2 years ago, so let's do the same here.
You are a woman?
Masked character that went toe-to-toe with male protagonist turns out to be a woman cliche. It even happened earlier in 2011 when Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides came out.
You left me cracked in pieces on a bridge, surrounded by soldiers. They wrote a song about it.
Did they? I mean, I know there's a nursery rhyme, but without a melody, I don't think you can consider it a song, you narcissistic omelet.
Looked up Humpty Dumpty on Wikipedia, and this came up. This song's been around since the late 19th century.
You got any idea what they do to eggs in San Ricardo prison? It ain't over easy.
Was that a prison rape joke in a kid's movie? Yes. Yes, it was.
Would kids even understand the joke? And again, this film was rated PG. Calling it a kids movie is a bit demeaning.
Also, ironically, in a prison, they call it the Dumpty Humpty. Also, if they truly did make a song about Humpty Dumpty, the one we all know and love, how did Humpty Dumpty get put back together again? Or is this movie saying that Humpty Dumpty didn't have a great fall and that he was just arrested? Maybe great fall means he had a great fall from grace? And the pieces were his psyche? Why would anyone make a nursery rhyme about this?
No, I don't think he ever broke in the first place. There was probably some liberty taken when the song was written.
What happened between you and Humpty that was so bad?
Well, he said there was no such thing as Bruce Almighty Moon, and I told him, look at the f***ing moon, dude. Just look at it! Things were never the same since.
Arbitrary movie reference.
You may want to see it.
Man, I haven't seen someone force someone else to sit through a boring, overlong story to this degree since Chris tied me up and made me watch The English Patient.
Arbitrary movie reference.
Teasing seeds with a Rube Goldberg watering system.
Sending Rube Goldberg machines.
First rule of Bean Club, you do not talk about Bean Club. Second rule of Bean Club is you don't talk about Bean Club.
Third rule of Bean Club, someone yells stop, goes limp, taps out, the bean is over. Fourth rule, only 2 guys to a bean. Eighth and final rule, if this is your first night at Bean Club, you have to be. Also, if this ends up with Humpty holding Puss's lye-covered paws underwater while his fur burns off, I'm taking all the sins back.
I'm guessing that's another reference to Fight Club, and if so, sending the movie for making a Fight Club reference while making one himself.
I've been watching Humpty Dumpty talk for a while, and now I have to wonder, are there other living eggs like him? This world is filled with all the usual stuff, but with an occasional talking egg or gingerbread man. It feels like there would be more of them.
Yeah, they probably are. I mean, Humpty is an orphan. That very much implies there's an egg-like species that it comes from. Why do you think he was in the orphanage in the first place?
Wear them as a symbol of honor and justice.
Yeah, sure, boots for a cat as a symbol of honor and justice. Makes total sense. Well, I sure am glad that we heard that origin story. Puss himself makes fun of how strange this is in a few seconds, but I already wrote this, so movie can't have that sin back.
Oh, come on. You admit that the movie makes a similar joke, and you still sin it anyway?
Little did I know that one moment would change my whole life.
But if you believe in free will and the butterfly effect, doesn't every moment change your whole life? And if you're a determinist, then no moment changes your life. So no matter what you believe, putting one moment's value over any other seems like faulty reasoning, and an illusion of the perceived narrative. Sorry, I got way too deep there. Back to your asshole, egg-philandering feline kids movie.
Well, that was a waste of time.
His lies cost me everything.
Movie acknowledges that spending over 10 minutes on narrated backstory is mind-numbingly boring, but does it anyway.
Irony.
This movie has so much time to fill, it literally just did a triple crossfade advancement of a shot of Jack and Jill riding across the desert. Gotta hit 90 minutes.
Again, that's ironic. You're doing everything you can to get this video over 16 minutes.
By the way, quick question. Do the demon warthogs do any better at hauling this wagon than, say, horses? Feels like if you have the capacity to round up unexplained evil Pumbas to haul you around, you could get a horse or two.
Calling these warthogs evil Pumbas, that's racist.
What practical purpose does this whack-a-mole style chariot serve? More constricting and dangerous than if they just sat outside like normal. Is it supposed to be funny? Do they miss being in stocks? Is it so they can give each other handies without anyone seeing? This movie confuses randomness with entertainment.
But it's a DreamWorks movie. They always put fun in front of everything else with this kind of thing. It's futile to question it.
Excellent.
I believe you mean excellent. Don't deny yourself the simple pleasures of just being what you were born to be, movie.
Don't pretend you wouldn't have seen the movie even if they did make that pun.
Jeez, if a single claw could open locks like this, who needs keys?
Someone who doesn't have claws.
Also, Jack's wrist had to have been touching the box, right? How does he not feel the pressure getting released when the box is open? If the box were lying on the floor, Jack's hand could be in the box without touching it, but it was clearly suspended in midair, meaning Jack's wrist was holding it there. Maybe it's because he knows it's all a setup. But then I don't understand why Jack and Jill try to kill Puss after this when they hear one of their pigs squealing in the back. This would be as good a time as any to pretend to be mad about Puss trying to steal the beans.
I mean, wouldn't it be suspicious if they just pretended to not hear the pig screaming? Of course they would try and kill Puss and Kitty. They had to sell this ruse, and it's Puss in Boots. He'll be fine. He literally has 9 lives.
You think this is over?
Well, honestly, I was hoping it was close.
Jeremy yells at the screen cliche.
Kitty, you're not as good as they say. You're better.
Sorry, PIB, I think that move is trademarked by Simon Cowell and is solely used in reality competition shows.
Arbitrary reference.
Movie steals the throwing your balls at each other as a sign of affection scene from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, which stole it from Dumb and Dumber, which stole it from Groundhog Day, which stole...
Just a lot of arbitrary movie references.
The only thing missing from this flirty kitty tumble is Can You Feel a Love Tonight?
Arbitrary Lion King reference. Okay, you guys get it, right? He does this a lot.
Humpty, you're not wearing underwear.
Commando shaming. Also, wait, are you saying Humpty has privates down there? Is there a scenario where Humpty might get to do the Humpty dance? Oh, yuck me, baby.
Okay, that's close enough to a Jeremy sings in a video cliche.
Legend has it that if you look at it, you'll turn to stone, but nobody really knows because nobody's walked away from it alive.
To borrow a line from a movie series that this movie steals quite a bit from, no survivors. Then where do the stories come from, I wonder?
This movie steals from Pirates of the Caribbean? I mean, I know you earlier had that sin about the whole not knowing the masked person was a woman gag, but like, what else does this movie steal?
How the did Puss and everybody cut down this beanstalk? And do not tell me it was Puss's cat claws that did this.
They pulled a saw out of thin air, duh.
I'm half expecting one of Jack and Jill's evil warthogs to run in and save the day here.
Okay.
Why did Puss get a horse? There was nobody and nothing left when he woke up.
Dude, this is the same horse that was pulling the carriage that Puss, Kitty, and Humpty were riding. They most likely tied it up somewhere close to here.
This Humpty was there at every turn thing is really funny, especially the part where he's throwing birdseed everywhere for the buzzards. But it's also extremely untrue. But hey, I'm amused. I'm only adding one sin.
Jeremy sends something he likes cliche.
You had the beans?
Who are you?
This is the second time a character has nodded off while watching Puss in Boots, but it still has millions to go before it catches up to the number of audience members.
Don't take the goose. Why?
Hey, screenwriters, just because you fell asleep writing this doesn't mean you have to include every time it happened in the screenplay.
Double dipping.
It's the Great Terror! That's the Golden Goose's mom!
I know Humpty Dumpty is a lying piece of shit, but didn't he say that nobody knew what the Great Terror looked like because nobody had survived the experience? But this asshole knows it's the Golden Goose's mom, so what was the mystery?
Maybe the fact that most people didn't know this, but Jack does? Haven't you read the story of Jack and the Beanstalk? Obviously he was there and saw it. And Jack says in this scene that Humpty was in the same cell as him, so Jack told Humpty about it, and that's how he knew.
This might be the joke, but how the f*** did Andy get out of his shackles? There's no setup to this joke at all. I'm just going to assume the filmmakers forgot he was shackled.
Seriously? They did set up this joke. They literally showed him taking his hands out of the shackles while he was talking to Puss.
Duck! Duck! Goose?
Ha ha ha.
You have to save the baby or the mama will destroy San Ricardo.
Considering the damage she's already done to the streets, several homes, and this bridge, I'm pretty sure that ship has already sailed, Humpster.
I'm pretty sure he's referring to the people, dude.
I will not let you go, Humpty.
Where the f*** is Kitty now? She ex machinas whenever the story needs it and apparently holds back when the story wants to do something else.
Hilariously misusing Deus Ex Machina again.
Okie doke, where are we headed anyways?
Off to find new adventures.
And to see some old friends.